And then going to the emails of Dr. Fauci, there was an exchange between Dr. Collins and Dr. Fauci referencing a Fox News report discussing it as basically the lab leak as a conspiracy. Collins denied, jumping to conclusions, and he asserted that his mention of conspiracies was referring to the rumor that the virus was bioengineered as a weapon. Is that the position of the administration and their top health experts, that this was not engineered, or is that still an open question and part of this review?
Well, I think we've spoken to this pretty extensively from here. Let me just say on Dr. Fauci and his emails, he's also spoken to this many, many times over the course of the last few days, and we'll let him speak for himself. And he's been an undeniable asset in our country's pandemic response. But it's obviously not that advantageous for me to relitigate the substance of emails from 17 months ago. We've launched, based on the president's direction, an entire internal review process to use all of the resources across government to get to the bottom of the origins. And that's a 100-day process, and we'll look forward to providing more when that, or 90 days, sorry, when it's concluded.
Can you speak at all to the Vanity Fair report about this State Department fact sheet that came out 5 days before inauguration?
5 days before this president's inauguration?
Correct. Do you know if there was any crossover of that, how that was seen by this administration, the conclusions that they were trying to put out in the final days of the Trump administration?
I think I'm just going to focus on our own internal review that's going to use every resource in the federal government, whether that is our health experts, our medical experts, our national security team, to see what more we can unearth about the origins, which certainly we all want to get to the bottom of. Go ahead.
Yeah, back on infrastructure. So just to be clear, this $1 trillion in new spending and the focus on the minimum tax instead of corporate tax hikes, is this the president's best and final offer to Republicans?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to note we have a range of means for moving the president's ideas and proposals forward. And the president's going to have a conversation with Senator Capito tomorrow. He's very much looking forward to that. I will tell you for clarity that what he put forward would have been new spending on top of a baseline of $400 billion over 5 years. That amount of money that would be expected to be invested in infrastructure regardless of these talks. And beyond that, I think in terms of the pay-fors, we're open to other options. The president is just not going to raise taxes on Americans making less than $400,000 a year. If the Republicans want to go back to raising the corporate rate as a part of this specific negotiation, we are absolutely for that, and we think that these corporations could pay more. If there are other options, great. We're not going to go down the road of user fees or other areas that would raise taxes on the American people.
And how much of the plan does that minimum tax cover? Does the White House?
It's in our budget, and you can take a look.
And just on the corporate tax rate, are you confident progressive Democrats in Congress would get behind a proposal that doesn't include an increase in the corporate tax rate?
Well, to be clear, the president absolutely thinks that corporations can afford to pay more, and especially including corporations that paid zero in taxes over the last several years. That's why it was in his proposal as a pay-for, and certainly a range of members, including progressives, are certainly well aware of what was in the president's American Jobs Plan proposal as pay-fors.